In royal culture, fashion is never accidental. Every hemline, color choice, and silhouette is part of a visual language refined over centuries. Clothing communicates stability, hierarchy, and unity long before a single word is spoken. For Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, television appearances became a powerful yet unforgiving stage. Their fashion choices, sometimes bold, sometimes deeply personal, often collided with expectations rooted in royal tradition. This countdown examines 11 televised moments where style, symbolism, and circumstance created visible discomfort or controversy. Not to mock, but to understand how royal fashion can amplify tension when it drifts from its historical role. At number 11, the BBC engagement interview, 2017 Nottingham Cottage announcement. The BBC engagement interview was meant to be a fairy tale beginning, the moment when Meghan Markle would be formally introduced to the world as a future duchess. Meghan chose a soft white wrap coat by Line the Label, a deliberate departure from rigid royal tailoring. The coat draped gently, signaling warmth, modern femininity, and approachability. Her makeup was natural, her hair loosely styled, reinforcing an image of ease and sincerity. It was a look rooted more in contemporary lifestyle branding than traditional royal portraiture. Prince Harry, however, appeared visually restrained by comparison. His navy suit was formal, traditional, and unmistakably royal, but his body language betrayed tension. The contrast between their styles created a subtle imbalance on screen. Royal engagement interviews typically present couples as a synchronized unit, visually mirroring one another to suggest unity and shared purpose. Here, fashion quietly revealed two different rhythms. Viewers felt both charm and unease, sensing that the transition into royal life might be more complicated than the smiles suggested. At number 10, the Royal Foundation Forum, 2018 London. The Royal Foundation Forum was a highly symbolic televised event, positioning Meghan alongside Prince William and Catherine as part of the future of the monarchy. Meghan's blush-toned Jason Wu blazer dress was sleek, polished, and unmistakably powerful. The structured silhouette emphasized authority, while the soft color attempted to balance approachability. It was a look designed for leadership, confidence, and modern relevance. Yet royal fashion operates within a visual ecosystem. William and Catherine appeared in restrained, classic tailoring that aligned seamlessly with royal norms. Meghan's more contemporary, Hollywood-influenced silhouette immediately drew the eye. Media commentary quickly focused on contrast rather than cohesion. In royal settings, standing out can unintentionally suggest separation rather than strength. While the dress itself was widely admired, the moment became controversial because it disrupted the visual harmony that royal engagements traditionally rely upon. At number 9, Trooping the Color balcony appearance, 2018 Buckingham Palace. Trooping the Color is one of the most carefully orchestrated events in the royal calendar, where fashion, posture, and protocol are inseparable. Meghan appeared on the Buckingham Palace balcony in a pale pink Carolina Herrera dress, featuring a sculpted neckline and clean, elegant lines. The color choice was appropriate, soft, and respectful of royal tradition, while the tailoring highlighted refinement and polish. However, television cameras captured moments of visible uncertainty. When to turn, where to look, how to stand. These details matter immensely in royal presentation. Royal fashion relies not just on clothing, but on confidence born from repetition and familiarity. In this moment, the dress remained beautiful, but the body language told a different story. The discomfort wasn't in the fabric or design. It was in the learning curve made public, reminding viewers how unforgiving televised royal life can be. At number 8, the Morocco Royal Tour Henna Ceremony, 2019 Asni Atlas Mountains. During the Morocco Royal Tour, Meghan attended a traditional henna ceremony wearing a Dior custom kaftan-inspired gown in soft cream hues. The gown referenced Moroccan craftsmanship through its silhouette while maintaining the refinement expected of couture. Flowing and regal, it was designed to honor local tradition while presenting royal elegance on a global stage. Yet television coverage reframed the narrative. Attention quickly shifted to the gown's cost and opulence, particularly given the ceremony's cultural and spiritual significance. Fashion symbolism became a point of contention. Some observers praised the respectful nod to tradition, while others felt the luxury overshadowed the intimacy of the moment. The controversy did not stem from the gown itself, but from how its symbolism was magnified through the lens of televised scrutiny. At number 7, Harry and Meghan, an African Journey ITV documentary, 2019. This documentary marked a rare and vulnerable departure from traditional royal image-making. Meghan appeared in relaxed silhouettes, soft fabrics, rolled sleeves, neutral tones, visually stripping away the armor that royal fashion usually provides. The styling suggested openness, humanity, and emotional honesty rather than formality or distance. For many viewers, the vulnerability felt refreshing and deeply relatable. For others, it was unsettling. Royal fashion has long served as a boundary between personal emotion and public duty. On television, that boundary dissolved. The discomfort surrounding this moment was not rooted in aesthetics, but in cultural expectation. The documentary challenged the notion that royal fashion must always conceal emotional truth, reshaping how viewers understood the role of clothing within monarchy. At number 6, Commonwealth Day Service, 2020, Westminster Abbey. Commonwealth Day 2020 was Meghan and Harry's final formal appearance as working royals, and the fashion reflected the gravity of that moment. Meghan wore a striking emerald green Amelia Wickstead dress, paired with a matching cape and structured hat. The color was rich and symbolic. Green often represents renewal, independence, and transformation. Televised images amplified the message. Against the solemn backdrop of Westminster Abbey, the look appeared commanding, almost resolute. Media reaction was swift and divided. Some hailed it as iconic royal style, a powerful farewell moment. Others viewed it as visually defiant, suggesting emotional distance from the institution. The controversy lay not in the craftsmanship, but in timing. Fashion appeared to speak of departure during a ceremony meant to emphasize continuity and unity. Before we move on to the top 5, if you enjoy deep dives into royal fashion, iconic looks, and the hidden meaning behind what royals wear, make sure you subscribe to Royal Fashion Files and like this video. Here, we don't just show the outfits, we explain why they mattered. Now, let's continue. At number 5, the Oprah Winfrey interview, 2021, Santa Barbara. Meghan's black Armani dress for the Oprah interview was deceptively simple. Structured, minimalist, and devoid of ornamentation, it stood in stark contrast to traditional royal glamour. In royal fashion, black is rarely worn outside moments of mourning or solemnity. Here, it conveyed seriousness, boundaries, and emotional weight. Broadcast worldwide, the interview transformed the dress into a visual symbol. Its restraint allowed the conversation to dominate, yet the symbolism was unmistakable. Supporters praised the elegance and discipline of the look. Critics felt it heightened the controversy of the discussion. Either way, the dress became inseparable from the moment, demonstrating how fashion can frame narrative as powerfully as words. At number 4, Vax Live concert appearance, 2021, Los Angeles. At the Vax Live concert, Meghan stepped onto a stage rather than a royal balcony, wearing a bold red Carolina Herrera gown with dramatic volume and a flowing train. The color red symbolized confidence, urgency, and visibility. The silhouette was unmistakably theatrical, rooted in Hollywood glamour rather than royal restraint. Television framed the appearance as a definitive cultural shift. Royal fashion traditionally avoids spectacle at charitable events, favoring modesty and understated elegance. This gown disrupted that visual expectation. Media reactions split sharply. Admirers celebrated the confidence and modernity, while critics questioned whether the glamour overshadowed the cause. The embarrassment for detractors was about context, not design. At number 3, the UN General Assembly speech, 2022, New York City. For the UN General Assembly, Meghan wore a crisp white Givenchy coat dress that echoed classic royal silhouettes. The tailoring was immaculate, the color symbolic. In royal fashion, white represents neutrality, authority, and moral clarity. The look visually recalled her time as a senior royal. Yet the setting was distinctly non-royal. Televised reactions questioned whether the styling blurred boundaries between royal symbolism and independent global advocacy. While the outfit itself was elegant and restrained, its visual messaging unsettled traditionalists. The controversy lay in perception, fashion invoking royal authority in a space no longer governed by it. At number 2, Ripple of Hope Awards Gala, 2022, New York City. Meghan's off-the-shoulder white Louis Vuitton gown at the Ripple of Hope Awards was sleek, modern, and undeniably glamorous. The clean lines and exposed shoulders placed the look firmly within contemporary red carpet fashion. On television, however, the symbolism became more complex. White evening gowns are rare in royal fashion outside of weddings or ceremonial events. Critics argued that the dress echoed royal visual language without royal context. Admirers saw confidence, evolution, and personal freedom. The moment became unforgettable because fashion appeared to dominate the narrative, drawing focus away from the event's political and humanitarian themes. At number 1, Prince Harry's spare media interviews, 2023, ITV and CBS. The final moment in this countdown is defined not by extravagance, but by restraint. Prince Harry appeared in subdued tailoring, soft jackets, muted tones, minimal accessories. The styling communicated vulnerability rather than authority, introspection rather than command. Television emphasized the contrast between the confident royal image of the past and the exposed individual of the present. The embarrassment, for observers, wasn't about poor fashion choices, but about symbolism. Royal fashion traditionally shields its wearers. Here, that shield was gone. What remained was honesty, emotional openness, and a visual departure from centuries of controlled image-making. Royal fashion is not merely about elegance. It is about continuity, restraint, and collective identity. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry stepped outside that framework under the unforgiving lens of television. Sometimes the results were striking, sometimes unsettling, always memorable. These moments remind us that clothing can reveal emotional truth as clearly as words. When fashion and tradition fall out of alignment, history takes note. And in the ever-evolving story of royal style, these televised appearances remain powerful chapters, etched not in scandal, but in symbolism. If you enjoyed this royal fashion deep dive, make sure to like, subscribe, and explore more stories here on Royal Fashion Files. Because in the royal world, fashion is never just fashion, it's power, image, and history.